this is after the show. How's that?
Yeah.
Candidly, I mean, we talk candidly, but this is like.
I'm gonna share honestly, if you don't mind, because
Yeah, please go ahead.
I do feel that some of the vocals were rushed. When I first recorded those, I was completely hammered all the time, and I know it was bad, and I actually quit playing music for a few months because I had to dry out. I was withdrawing very badly. I was very sick, very, very violently sick. You're not
Wait,
supposed
so
to do
was
that.
it drinking or drugs or both?
Both, I'm imagining. I
You're
really should say
imagining.
yeah, I imagine, because I don't know. I didn't go to a doctor. I didn't go to a clinic. I just did it at home. So I would say to anybody who does think about quitting, if you think you have a problem, please, please get medical attention. It is actually worse to quit alcohol cold turkey than heroin, believe it or not. It's actually true. I had a doctor tell me that. And I know now why, because I was dying, literally dying. And I thought I was going to die, actually. I remember I had this real bad heart palpitation, and I got real hot and sweaty, and I thought, I was like, this is it. I'm going to die. I can't believe I'm going to die. But
Wow.
I woke up and I went on. Everything was fine. So when I went back to the studio, I told the producer, I said, look, man, it took me about 2.5 years to record that first record because I was messed up all the time. I couldn't get focused to record it. So we recorded it in bits and pieces. When I got clean and sober, I went back to him and I told him, look, man, we're going to finish this thing now, you know? So he said, okay. So we went to the studio. I heard the vocal tracks and I was appalled at how bad they were because, I was under the influence. Now I'm in front of the microphone. I'm newly sober. Also, I've never recorded an album in my life. I've sang millions of songs on stages for years, but to stand behind a mic in a booth, it is about the most intimidating thing I've ever done. And to be honest, yeah, we did 50 to 100 takes on every song, probably. I think I did one song a day because
How many takes?
50, 100, I don't know. We did it a
What?
lot because I couldn't. I had never done anything without alcohol before, so I didn't even know how to sing. Honestly, it was it was a lot. I think the whole we did like 50 takes on all. I mean, not every song. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but for like all for 10 tunes, yeah, somewhere in that area.
Wow.
I didn't know.
How many
So
hours is that? 50 takes.
we spent a lot of hours. It was
And money too.
yeah,
Studio time.
it was bad. I really learned a lot about singing in that session in those sessions. I thought I knew how to sing before. I realized that I really don't. So we finally got through it. We finally got takes that were acceptable. I still wasn't thrilled with them. And then RB, my producer, did more magic, and he made them as great as they are. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of reasons why I feel that the vocals were rushed on that record, and it's because of me.
Wow.
I take full responsibility for it.
But if everything is a little rushing, then you can maybe push out a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did. I think
He did?
I think it was worse than that. I think that the vocals were worse than that, and he really fixed them as much as he could, because I couldn't fall in the pocket with the lyrics. And I remember just thinking, I never want to do this again. It was frightening.
Wait a minute, how many songs in the album?
There's nine vocal songs.
So you're saying 50 takes for each song?
No, I think it was like, I know one song for sure we did, and I know there's one song we did for sure that we only did 2 or 3. But then the other ones was like another 6 or 7 or 8, 9 times that we ran through it. We didn't piece. We didn't want to piece. We wanted to get one good long take, the whole thing. Because you can go in and edit, note by note, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to capture an organic take. So sure. I would chalk it up to being inexperienced, for one. I had never sang like that in a studio. When you get sober, you really have a new life. You have to learn how to do everything all over again. I remember when the first time I went back to work, I went back to gigging on stage behind a piano without drinking was the weirdest thing I've ever felt in my life. Because usually by the time I
Wow.
got to the piano, I was already drunk. So we're looking at the keys and like, what am I doing here? What is this? You just play from muscle memory for so many years. And I remember
Wow.
just like being lost at the keyboard. I thought I'd be better. Now I'm better because I got used to it. But at first it was, I mean, you're talking 2 decades of heavy, heavy, heavy alcoholism, you know? So, I mean, that's most all of my 20s, all of my 30s.
Well, when I met you a few years ago, were you already sober?
No, God, no.
I had no idea. You
Most,
fooled
most,
me.
most people didn't. I was what they call one of those productive alcoholics, you know, that still can get stuff done. Well, and I still ruined a lot of things.
That blows my mind. You can still play. Like a lot of great jazz musicians.
Yeah, you just I don't know how it is that somebody gets to be like that, where they can still work. I know I definitely play better now than I did then, and I thought I played good then, but I know I definitely play better now. But I remember that night I
Wow.
met you at the old Hilton. I got there early to set up, and then I went to the bar, and I had gone through at least 6 or 7 vodkas and then a couple of shots of whiskey
You're
before
kidding.
I even started the gig. And then at the gig, between on breaks, we would run to the bar and do shots and then come back. So and yeah, so by the time I met you, I was maybe a bottle in already.
I could not tell. How can you hide that in your pretty smile? And
Just I don't know.
you're just so talented. And sometimes we have God-given talent, and other times we tend to abuse it.
We do, and I did for years. Yeah, and I don't have regrets, but I guess I just kind of feel bad about abusing it when it's so many people would love to be able to do what I do, and I
Exactly.
treated it like nothing. But now I take it
That's
very seriously, and so for me,
that's what's
uh,
up.
I had a glass of wine. I remember on a gig not too long ago, and
Hmm.
I felt like a little, a little bit buzzed from the glass of wine, and I was playing, and I remember I was mad at myself. I was like, "Look how you're playing now because you just had that one stupid glass of wine." I'd prefer to just play sober now. It's so much better.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
So, what about your second album coming up?
I'm doing it by myself here at home, and I can really sit and listen and be very very judgmental and critical of what I'm doing, and I think it flows a little bit better. There's some things I need to work on, but I know what they are. But
Hmm.
also, I'm not very as experienced in mixing like those other guys are, so my mistakes they really have to be less because I don't have the power to fix them like those guys do. So
Right,
I really have to be on it.
right.
So it's a good challenge, and I'm very much up for it. I didn't ever really want to be a singer. My dad made me
Mm.
sing, and I'm so glad he did because that's how I've been able to work all these years. I wasn't like most singers, when you start, from a very early age, you want to be a singer. You start singing with a
Yes,
hairbrush, that kind of thing.
yes, yes. I
And
was singing when I was 3.
exactly, and that's what most singers say is, yeah, I was like 3 years old and I had like my little hairbrush and I would do concerts in my bedroom
Right.
for my stuffed animals and.
You know, when I was 3, I was singing not to a stuffed animal. There was like a 10 Japanese guys or something. So it was my second nature. But when I was 5 years old, my mother saw me in a long time, and she said, "What an ugly child."
Oh my goodness.
So that was my fate. You know, they crushed my soul to the core, and I buried my passion, gave up singing because I believed that I was too ugly to be a singer. So
Wow.
that's my life story. So all my life until now, like I had to really recover and learn how to love myself and all of that. That's my journey.
That is so crazy. Tomoko, you are so beautiful inside and out. I can't
Thank you
imagine
so much.
anybody ever say anything like that to you.
See, that's why I said I'm jealous of the people who have encouraging parents.
I
Yeah.
did. I love my parents. Even my dad, neither one of them wanted me to do this because they know how hard it is. But, and when I was growing up, because I was very young and I was still in school when I was playing with my dad, the deal was that I had to keep my grades very high because I was always a good student. And so as long as I kept my grades up, I could stay playing music with my dad. So I did. That's what I That's what I did. I kept my grades up and I would take my homework to the bar. I'd be doing my math work on the pool table and on breaks, and then we go back and play a gig. I get home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, go to school at 7.
So how was
So
he when you had this addiction problem?
I'm very open about it now, but I was
Mhm.
very private about it then, and
So he didn't know.
nobody really knew. You really had to live with me to know, because you would see me.
Mm.
He would see me in the morning, he'd see me in the afternoon, he'd see me at night.
Okay.
But to everybody else, yeah, they knew I like to drink, I like to have a good time, but I think even when I told my mom what was going on, I don't think they really had any idea it was that bad. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much, Chris, for sharing. God bless you, and looking forward to our next sushi session.
Yes, definitely.
Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about new videos of Songwriters Room or my new music or Japanese series. Thank you for watching. ありがとう。さようなら。